Okay. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so welcome to Entrepreneurship Impact. So, just a brief update about what Entrepreneurship Impact is. It's a channel for entrepreneurs to share their journey. I believe that during this period of time, while we are staying at home due to the circuit breaker measures, all of us are wondering what we can do, how entrepreneurs like ourselves can actually adapt to situations like this. So I believe that this entrepreneurship impact is brought to entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs to be about experiences from real entrepreneurs, how we are able to, learn from their experiences, learn from their past mistakes, and how we can actually overcome certain obstacles. And today we actually invited Jeremy, founder and CEO of Core Invest Institute, to share with us his journey. So for myself, I have known Jeremy for quite some time, and he himself, after hearing some of his life journey, is very inspiring. Definitely about some of the failures that he has met during his journey in entrepreneurship to how he become who he is today as the founder of Core Invest Institute. So maybe I shouldn't occupy the limelight for too long. I should actually pass to him to let him inspire us more about his life journey as an entrepreneur. So to you, Jeremy.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing a bit of my background, Yong Tai or Charles. Okay. So I'm going to share with you how I started. I've been through many different journeys through my life. A lot of failures and also a lot of success stories, and all through hard work and a lot through determination. So I'll just like to start with how I started. Actually, it's been a very long time since then. When I was very young, what happened was that my dad was actually due to the dot-com bubble crisis. My dad actually has to travel overseas to work in a way that because he's in logistics, and that he was fortunate that he wasn't the few people to be being retired, or retrenched by the dot-com bubble by crisis itself. So he used to work in this company called Western Digital. I believe some of you may know the hard disk company. And he was almost retrenched in Singapore. And we were fortunate that he's able to work in Kuala Lumpur. And that is where he also has to fly around to many places. So when I was young, I don't get to see him very often because of that. And I asked him this question. I say, "Hey, Dad, why don't you go and find another job? Why don't you stay with us? I see so many many of my friends going out with their family, go to the park, go fly kite, camping and all that. And for me, is every Friday night I'll wait for him at the doorstep, waiting for him to come back from KL, and he won't take the flight. He'll take the coach because in that way he save money, and when he save money, he can spend more for us. And once a month, he'll be back on a Friday, and then we'll be waiting for him. Me and my three brothers will be waiting for him to come down, to come back, and we'll be waiting for him at the taxi stand so that we can take his luggages and bring him up, and settle him down. And no matter how tired he is, right, he will still bring my brothers and I out for supper. And I remember at the Thomson area there's this very nice bihun area, and then we will have bihun and chicken wings and all that. And that is where the time spent we had is just only like once or twice a month kind of basis. So I asked him this question. I say, Dad, coming back, Dad, why don't you find a new job in Singapore? And he told me, this, how to find a new job. The dot-com crisis is there, and a lot of people get retrenched, and I need to feed a family of 7. And this is where I understood, as a young boy, I understood that, we need food on the table. And this is where it starts to trigger me, why is my dad coming through this kind of phrase itself? And also I asked my dad this, what can I do? And he told me this. He said, hey, Jeremy, why don't you find something to do in future that in future you can spend more time with your family? This is something that really impacts me a lot. And I was very confused after I got my diploma in Infocom Tech. I used to be in IT. And then in army, I came across this book, which is one of my best friends passed to me. This Rich Dad Poor Dad book. I believe some of you may have read that book before, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I understood the four quadrant very well during my time in national service. And I found that, hey, why don't I be a business owner? And why don't I be an investor as well? Everybody wants to move to the right side of the quadrant. How can I move from the left side, which is an employee or self-employed, to the right side, which is a business owner and investor? Then came to my mind already, okay, I want to do business, right? So that's the part where my life start to change, my mindset start to change. I used to be playing a lot and having fun in poly. I almost fail my exams and all that, But then I told myself, no more fun for me. Which is indeed when I took a degree of accounting finance, because I want to learn how to do business, and I know that every business needs to know about finance. So I decided not to go SIM. I went to SAA, and which is more professional in a way to study lah. And I didn't have fun anymore. A lot of my friends they go out for dinner while I go and work. Okay, so I want to get all the experience. Why? Because I want to go for programs. So I went for a lot of professional programs ever since I came out of army. I didn't spend time going out and all that. I reduced a lot of my lifestyle to learn, to start my entrepreneurship journey itself. And also I went through different courses and very disappointing courses as well. There are many different courses that really failed me. And I spent a lot of my hard-earned money, working 12 hours a day just to go to save up money to go for these courses, and these courses failed me, in a sense that I don't learn so much, but opportunity opens for me. So the first opportunity opens for me was actually the Peranakan business, my mentor, my first mentor, because I learned that if I want to do business, I do not want to hit my head onto the wall immediately. I want to work smart, I want to play smart, I want to find somebody that I can work with. So when I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, right, they tell me that find a mentor, right? Find a person that you think that is successful, and then you want to work with. And then that's the thing I did first. I followed the book, very step by step. He said that work for somebody for free, okay, and that is what I did. Robert Kiyosaki was working for Michael's dad for free, at this shop that sells sweets and all that, like groceries and all that. And I worked for my mentor for free. For 1 year, I worked for him for free. Every Saturday, Sunday, when people go out to have fun, I go to his Peranakan restaurant, I sit down, I learn from him, I listen to him, I write notes, I work. Yeah, and I didn't get any pay at all. So that was my journey. When I finished my degree itself, I decided to I have a full-time job. Right, I went to full-time job first because I need to earn money to pay back my loans, and also I need to get some experience from the world itself. So I started to work as a fund accounting, administration and compliance job, and then every weekend I will go to the Peranakan restaurant to work for free. Yeah, so this is my style, my life. My life started after my degree. I started to work only and get experience, go for professional courses, again work. And this is my lifestyle. I sacrifice a lot of my lifestyle, my friends and all that, to get more knowledge and experience. And in 2016 itself, 2015, I decided to quit my job, my full-time job, to do full entrepreneurship. And that's my first big step. I took about 3 months. I was at my Seletar reservoir there, sitting there, asking myself, am I going to forego my full-time job? All right, to come to full entrepreneurship and doing a Peranakan restaurant business with my partner, my mentor. And it was really tough decision because I was holding quite a high pay already by then. And working about 3.5 years there, I got quite a high pay. And I will have to quit my high pay and then go for this this journey itself. So I made the decision. I decided to, okay lah, let's do it. And in 2016, I full-fledged do my Peranakan business with my mentor. Yeah, and from nothing, from zero, from the land, there's nothing on the piece of land until I serve customer. So talking to the landlord, talking to distributors, talking to suppliers, talking to so many people out there, this is the first time, I was so scared now. Talking to landlords and all that, like I just came out from a corporate world of 2.5 to 3 years of my life of the journey. I didn't even had a chance to talk to any landlord and all that, and they come in very scary. But I just tell myself, no, I'm the one who's going to rent, so I'm going to talk to him like somebody with power, Like I'm able to communicate because I have the rights to do that. So I what I did was that I tell myself repeatedly, I tell myself that I need to do this. I want to learn. I do not want to be the scary cat who go to one corner and say, hey, that's it. No, I cannot do it. That kind of thing. I tell myself I need to do it. So from there onwards, right, I go talk to the landlord. Every time I talk to the landlord, I will stay outside for a while and tell myself, hey, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And then I press the bell, I talk to the landlord and say, hey, these are the things that we want to request for. Why? Because at Tiong Bahru Plaza at that time wasn't very fantastic in terms of the footfall. Okay, so and they delayed we are supposed to start the business in January 2016, but in the end was about March. And we had a lot of problems after that, like manpower problems. We used to already get like cooks ready and assistants ready, and they all left us, when we started out the Peranakan business on March, we were so underhanded but then, every first 3 months of the opening up a business, or especially a restaurant, is very important because about the branding, the image, the food, and all that. And we only have one full-time cook, one full-time cook and 2 staff. And my mentors, they are not young anymore. They are quite old, in terms of 60 plus years old. They still want to go out and do business, And me as a young person, I simply do every single thing. I have to do every single thing because I need to run the restaurant. I wake up 6 a.m. I reach the restaurant by 7. You guess what time I go home? 1 a.m. Almost every day for 3 months. Almost every day for 3 months. 7 a.m. wake up, 8 a.m. must be at the restaurant because why? I need to start to prepare, right? I need to open. I need to close, right? I need to bring my staff. I need to I need to talk to supplier, I need to talk to distributor, right? I mop the floor, I clean the floor, everything I do marketing also. And one thing that I was so proud that my Facebook page, right, from 0 to 500 over likes in 6 months. Yeah, that was my first achievement for Facebook when I first started up this Peranakan business. Organic like, yeah. So talking to people, telling them to like our Facebook, do promotions, sit down with my mentor, discuss again. Yeah. Then at the same time, of course, I've been investing because I started up a few things. So I jumped here and there. So because this is more towards entrepreneurship, I want to share more about my journey also. But I also started investing for ever since I came out of army by studying up and reading. So I went for a few courses. One is the entrepreneur course. I also went for investment courses. I paid a lot for my education fee. I had my accounting and finance degree and all that here and there. So I started, my first company that I invested was Vicom. Yeah. And until now, I still hold Vicom. And you can see that when you buy stock and you hold Vicom, right? For 9 years, only appreciate $2,000 only. I said, $2,000 for 9 years of holding of Vicom. But anyway, I still make money from Vicom. And constant every year dividend. So that's my journey, investing at the same time getting experience. I got my investment experience from my accounting, finance, fund accounting and administration job as well. I got all these things and then I go into Peranakan business. Yeah, so back to Peranakan business. Then in the afternoon itself, on the later stage itself, what happened was that I start to see the other side of my mentor, the flip side of him. I have never seen it before. Yeah. I always see the gentle and calm side of him. But when the business wasn't doing well, after the first 3 months, right? After that, the 4th, 5th month was actually the footfall getting bad. That's why I came on have to talk to landlords and all that. And the 4th, 5th months, the 6th month, I start to see the flip side of him, the devil side, the ugly side, I would say. I learned a lot from him. I really appreciate. Until today, I still call him mentor and all that. I really learned a lot of things from him. But then I saw the flip side. And that is something that I like to share with everybody. Finding a business partner is very important. Because as an investor myself, every time when I look at investments, right, there's this thing called risk, R-I-S-K, risk. And doing a business is a risk itself, right? And the business partner is the most important risk ever, because why? If the management doesn't do well, then the business will not do well. Because who runs the business? The human, right? The management. And this is the part where I found out the flip side of him. And this is something that I never thought of, and I was so pissed off. Why? Because he ran the business on emotions. Every time when you run a business on emotion, you cannot run anymore already. Because everything is unlogical anymore. Yeah? Like for example, I make investments. If you follow the market mood swing, then it becomes you every day you cannot sleep. Why? Because you when the market drop, you scared. Then when the market go up, very happy. Oh, I make a lot of money. Then after drop again, that kind of thing. Yeah. So in business also the same thing. When you do a Peranakan business, the footfall drop, then you very angry Everything also use anger to manage. Then when people when there's a lot of people come to the restaurant, okay, everybody you are fine, all that. Yeah. But then there's one day that really pissed me off. What? My mentor came to me right in front of my customer and scolded me, And then he told me this, where are all you? Right? You are supposed to give the belacan chili to everybody. I was like, no, this is not in the SOP. We don't give belacan chili to anybody. No, everybody can take such spicy chilies. Then he said, no, everybody must. I don't care. Right? 6:30 p.m. I remember around 6:30 p.m. In the Peranakan business, right in front of my customer, that I just served. As a restaurant manager, I just served my customer, and he scolded me right in front of the customer. I was like, you can always pull me aside and tell me that okay, there's a change in SOP, and that we are going to serve belacan chili, but he didn't. He just scolded me, and that was the first trigger ever already. That I see the flip side of him. That he was actually very running the business on emotions. Yeah. And then after that, as another second thing that I want to share with you regarding to my Peranakan business. The second thing is never to be reliant on others. You must always be self-reliant. In your business, if you are not self-reliant, don't do. Because anytime that person just go away, right, you are dead. Right? Because at that point of time, we are actually very reliant on this consultant chef, a Peranakan consultant chef. And what he did was that previously when we were before at Tiong Bahru Plaza, we were at the Buona Vista there. And we are quite reliant on his recipes to sell to the public. And then when we go to Tiong Bahru Plaza, he wants to eat a lot of he wants to increase his profit margin because we got more people there, more footfall. And that's where we are already struggling to survive, and yet he still want to eat more of our revenue, right? And then my mentor was very pissed again, run with emotion, decided he want to keep him away. And then we are very dependent on his recipe, but then he want to keep it away. People who are loyal to the Buona Vista at that time, once the taste, right? F&B is all about taste, all about the loyalty because the food is good. But then he wants to kick him away. And when he wants to kick him away, he showed it very obviously that he want to kick it away by creating our own recipe, belacan and all that. And then one day, in about September, he said that, I'm going to stop all paste to you. I'm going to stop everything to you. I'm not going to be your food consultant anymore. Yeah. Wow, that's the worst case scenario ever happened to our restaurant already, because half of the recipe are all his. And we lost half of the paste and all that within a very short period of time. About October, we are going to finish all our paste for him already. And we can see that there's even lesser and lesser people coming to the restaurant because the food already changed. Yeah, the taste already changed. And that is something that I feel that, in terms of investments, when you invest in company, this is called what? This is called a key person risk. When a food consultant that is important to the business left, right, that's called key person risk. And there's a change in strategy, change in management. And that's the problem. That's where you can see that the company will start to fall if the management didn't pick up properly. Okay, So I decided as an investor and as a management that I decided that no, this is not the way to go anymore. So in December 2016, I left the Peranakan restaurant. Yeah. So from an investor perspective, I left the restaurant for two things. Okay. Number one, management changed. Okay. The management has changed the risk. And number two, it's not worth it anymore. It's not worth my time. Every day I clock 12 hours, more than 12 hours to 16 hours a day to do Peranakan business. Every single thing. I dig the drain. I even clean the kitchen. At 12 midnight, I clean the kitchen. Why? Because we are not enough staff. And all that. And of course, we have a lot of human issues and all that over here and there. So do not want to go too much into detail. If not, I'm going to pull until next day already. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that, from there, I learned a lot of things. Learn a lot of how to deal with people. Number key thing is that you must find the right business partner. And number two is that never dependent on your partners and never dependent on others as well. Must always be self-reliant. Yeah. If you want to do a business, you must always be self-reliant. So this is something that I really learned along the way from my journey, because I, as a Peranakan business owner, I don't know how to cook, Peranakan. I'm a 1/4 Peranakan, but I don't know how to cook. So this is the first big mistake that I have made already. That because I'm not self-reliant, we have to rely on the food consultant. I have to rely on my mentor to cook. So that is where there's something that I feel that I learned a lot. Okay. Then after that, after my Peranakan business, I try to go and do my own food business for at least 3 months. I'm trying to come up my own recipe and then come up my own restaurant. But then there's one thing that I learned. Cash flow. Yeah, cash flow is very important. In order to run a F&B business, you need to have good cash flow. And you need to have a deep pocket. Because why? Singapore is a place where it's very expensive to run F&B. And rental is the killer. And guess how much is the Tiong Bahru? 20,000 a month. That's the rental. Telling you the truth. 20,000 a month for rental. Okay. So any rental out there that I see, right, is about 5K. The size that I want is 5K. And after I done all my cash flow and I look at my food, I say, no lah, cannot lah. I think I'll die faster. Yeah. I need the cash flow about 200,000 first at the start. And I don't have 200,000 at that moment. I already invest on the Peranakan restaurant and the money is gone already. I also invest money on my education. I got no much money left. I only have my investment money. I'm not going to touch it because it's my investment. Yeah. So to survive, actually, to be honest with you, I sold some of my good investments so that I can eat. Yeah. Then I decided to go back to my full-time job again. And I started to go back again, get my salary, and then I start to pay for courses and learn again, that kind of thing. Yeah, to always upgrade myself. And then there's one day that I learned options already. And then after that, options is a trading tool, investment tool. Stocks and options they always call it. And I have been investing in stocks and I also learn about options and all that. And for me, it's like this. When I learn something, I need to learn how to apply also. That's where I go for courses. Only when from courses, then I'll get to know hands-on how to apply. So I went for courses again and started to do trading on options. That is about 3-4 years ago. All right. And then I started to get very good returns from my stocks and options already. And that's where I got involved with a friend. That friend brought actually a group of friends together and said, hey, why don't we set up a financial education course, right? I was like, hey, wow, interesting. And then I remember the first meeting we had was at Tai Seng there, the what they call that, what's that? That coffee place. What's that coffee place? Okay lah. Anyway, it's a coffee place lah. Okay, we sat down and then we start to talk about this thing. I was like, whether it's possible or not. I never trained before, but then I'm interested lah. So we gathered a group of 7 people at the start, 7 to 8 people at the start, and then we start to talk about it, and we found that there's a lot of gaps in between the investment world, the investment market. And the investing public and the financial market, there's actually a huge gap over there. And we want to solve that gap. And after we go through what I've learned, and many of them, they have also learned investing. I found that there's one thing that is very, very lack of. And the answer is actually the full-fledged understanding of how stocks and options is being invested. Yeah. A lot of theory out there, a lot of theoretical things that was mentioned. What's value investing? What is Ray Dalio? They all read a portfolio and so on and so forth. There's so many of them, all these things, but there's no real application and there's no real support. And this is the part where when we first started the Core Invest Institute, because we are very passionate to teach and very passionate. From there, I start to learn how to talk, speak, and all that. My journey started when I do not know how to talk to public in the past. Yeah, I only know how to talk 1 to 1, but 1 to 10, 1 to 20, I do not know. And this is through try and error. In order to learn public speaking, right, it's all about going out there to talk. If you don't go and talk, you can never learn one. Yeah. So that's my experience. So when we started my journey in Core Invest in 2017, July that time, every time I'm still in my full-time job anyway. I'm still in my full-time job. And then at night, people go out, have fun, right? I go talk to people. That's me. That's how passionate am I in the business itself, because I feel that, if as long as aligned to what I want to do, that time was, I think, 7-8 years ago already, where I want to do business or I do investment, right? So it comes together. One is I want to do F&B, another one is I want to do investment. So it becomes opportunity is here. Okay lah, let's do it. So I start to talk to people. Initially it was like 2-3 people, then 4 people, 5, then 10 people, then getting more and more people here and there. I start to talk, and then I found that it's actually a very interesting journey. And I learned a lot of mistakes lah. I used to EOR when I first started, and that's very normal because it hasn't been very used. You are not used to it yet. It's like me, I'm not used to it at the start. But once I start to repeat after and rehearse my whole presentation, it becomes better and better. And this is where I feel that this is something that you want to do. And there's one point of time, right? We actually talked to one consultant about how we speak. And that night itself, I talked to the mirror, I think about 10 times, saying the same old thing. Yeah. So from there onwards, I start to understand how to really speak and also not to use so much of the E-O-R lah. And that's where it's good that you have the knowledge behind to say before you go out and say, right? So like for me now is because I don't have my script. Anyway, I never prepare script today, so there's a lot of E-O-R. So please bear with me. But if I have my script, then it's fine already because I know how to say one part from each sentence to each sentence here and there. Yeah. So it all comes with practice. So practice is very important. I think practice is very important for everything. Yeah. Because from you going out to the public to speak, you need practice. For you to go out to teach what you want to teach, you also need to practice first, right? And then that's where you get more and more used to the whole system itself. Yeah. So that's the part where I started to speak a lot in 2017 to 2018 and then to 2019. And from there onwards, every time we share, we always upgrade ourselves through the market and also through the various programs. Other than I didn't stop learning. Okay, that's the one good point that I like. I didn't stop learning. I keep on going for more courses, and I go for Udemy as well to improve myself. So from a value investor from the past, I slowly moved myself to become a core investor. And core investor means that you want to invest by using today's methodology and strategy and not work on past historical data. So I think that will come into that will be towards more into Core Invest Institute, what we do. I will not want to explain so much because this is not the whole gist of the story, right? If not, I'll be sharing a lot about investments already. I'll talk about the market, US, Donald Trump trade war coming again. So I'm not going to do that. I want to share more about Core Invest as well, how we started. And from there onwards, that's where I started to speak a lot, as I mentioned. And I also got through many issues. So in 2018 itself, I had, this is the first time in my life I share with you. First time in my life I received 3 or 4 legal lawyer letters. You know, in 1 year you can get 4 lawyer letters. Oh, I got 4. I tell you, I got 4 legal letters. Okay, I'm not going to explain so much, but this is something that in business, when you do business, there is something that you want to look out for is that you anytime may be sued. Okay, and when you are sued not because you do it wrong, it's because you do it right. Yeah. Why? Because when you the better you do, the more competitors want to look at you, and the more the competitors want to disturb you, right? And this is something right, because when you do something right, they'll come and disturb you. So this is all fact, because what they want to do is the lesser competition they have, the more they can get the market share, right? So I received 4. I received 4. Two letters are from the company called Apple. You know Apple, right? Apple Incorporation. First time in my life, your Apple phone, iPhone. You can see the iPhone. You cannot see my phone. Never mind. I received 2 letters from them. I tell you, okay. It's actually got to do with my logo. Yeah, my logo. Lucky what I did was that I already filed IP rights for my logo, and they can't do anything to me. Yeah, so there is something that you want to look out for. So in case your logo is got to do with similarity to other business. Actually, I do not know our logo is close to what Apple has, and I filed my rights, and they can't do anything to me. But then they asked me to amend my rights in a certain way that doesn't conflict with them. So Apple has subsidiaries that have logos that look like that. Yeah. So so that was something that I was being sued by one of the top few lawyers in Singapore. Yeah, I think the first one I start with M. I don't want to say so much, but start with M. It's a top lawyer in Singapore, a law firm. And it was clear. The last 2 one is got to do with something that we did right, which is our program. They tried to sue us because our program is similar to them, but no, it's not. And they had no basis. But then at the end of 2018 November, December, they actually back up because they unable to scare us away, right? Normally this is a tactic, you like to play like blackjack, you want to fake that person that you got very good cards, right? But then at the end of the day, the opponent show hand and say, well, this is something that you cannot beat one. Yeah, so they found out that they tried to scare us, but in the end they didn't manage to, and we actually got the we actually fight on, because we went to find our own lawyer, and we start to talk about it, and that's a huge cost. If you want to talk about legal, please be careful with legal and all that, and we spend quite a bit of money on our lawyer fees, and so this is all about business. You have to meet all these kind of things. Yeah, so that's where we got some issues over there, and until today itself. So I'm going to fast forward until today itself. In 2019 we find a new partner. We found a new partner in 2019, Co-Invest, and we are very happy that our business partner actually came in together with us. We actually we brand ourselves in 2019, and we change our management, change everything. We actually look at our management, and then we say that some have to go, some have to stay. This has to be like that one, because we start out with 7 and now we are left with 4, and this is the truth of all businesses. Because one thing you will have to understand that time change, people goals change as well, right? So the rest of the tree have their own goals, and they want to do their own things. So that's a fact. And then we have actually we have 7, 5 left us, yeah, and then 2 came in, yeah. So this is the journey that we have, and after we brand ourselves and reorganize our management, and we feel that the best management that we have already so far, that we have people of all experience and expertise to actually run the business. All right, so I'm very happy now that we have such a management now, and we are building more new staff. Support. We are building a lot of things, because investing itself as a financial education is not just me teaching you and that's it, that kind of thing. So in the past, right, what happened was that the US market, the US people will come down to Singapore and teach 2 days, and that's it. Then they fly back. and a lot of people lose money from that. Yeah. So for us, it's different. We build a system and SOPs to make sure that people can follow, and then that's where the support can come in from there, from our side, so that it's not just like investing alone. No? Investing shouldn't be lonely. Investing should be in a community where people can learn together and invest safely in the market. Yeah. So we started to build a lot of systems. We face a lot of issues got to do with understanding how students learn, and from there we keep on update. I think our latest program that we have is, I think, version don't know what 20 already. Yeah, version 20 of the program, because we must always update ourselves to help and change to the current situation. Like now is COVID-19, and now let's talk about COVID-19 also. A lot of business are being affected, right? Yeah, I think, Charles, is that one of your questions you're going to ask later? I'll just keep on saying, right?
Yeah, I think you can keep on sharing.
I can keep on sharing. Okay. So for this COVID-19 situation itself, right, it's a kind of a big change and hoo-ha for everybody. I believe that now everybody is facing a lot of difficulties, trying to do their business, especially entrepreneurs and all that. And you can see there's a big change in the whole world in terms of every different kind of industry, right? And as we do now, we used to physically meet in classroom, but now everybody is happy at home, looking at the computer and doing this Zoom call, at the comfort of your place. So it's very, very different now. There's pros and cons for me. What I think in terms of my business itself as an entrepreneur, I feel that there's opportunity to touch and reach to more people. Why? Because some people are just not ready to come out from their place. They are not comfortable. They like to stay at their area, and then they like to learn and listen from other places. So I feel that we can touch point to all these people. Yeah, and opportunity is there, because now if we were to think about our business model, we need to change. Instead of just looking at how our program can work for people, we are looking at a subscription model. We are looking at how we can support more people through online and so on and so forth. So and we have to innovate, right? We need to come out and innovate. If you don't innovate, you'll die on, right? So it's like the case scenario like Kodak like that. Kodak actually is the first company to find out the digital camera, Yeah. And because they found that if they come out with the digital camera, right, they will sort of dilute their filming industry, the films, right? They are earning a lot of money from the films, but then because of because they are afraid that they may destroy their traditional business, they decided not to go on with the digital camera, right? So the management make the decision not to continue. And that's where the other companies like Canon, they came out with the digital camera. And that's the change of era already, from manufacturing or production to IT, to be IT based, And if you look at Jack Ma, and they always talk about all this change in trend in terms of manufacturing production to data, and all that, and infotech in the near future. And this is where, from the Kodak case, we can see that they didn't change, right? They didn't innovate and change. And this is where all the competitors came out to take over the market share. And you can see that now Kodak is no longer around in the camera business already. But Kodak is still alive. If you go and research, they are not doing camera, but they are doing something else. Okay, so I'll not explain much on that. So for us, we innovate. We came out with ideas of how to support our students better, our community, by doing a lot of Zoom call tutorials, by also doing a lot of mostly Zoom calls to make sure that they do all their work, personal coaching, one-to-one, everything all online, so they are comfortable at home as well. Right? They came back from work, or they stay at home, and then we are able to do quick one-to-one, like how we do like this, one to a few, and we start to talk to them and make them comfortable, learn the right strategy and all that. So this is something that we have been doing, and we feel that we are doing great. Instead of they call it 死板, stubbornly want to have a physical classroom, and then we meet them and then talk to them, that kind of thing. And you see, now we don't have to pay so much rental cost as well, right? This is something that got to do with cash flow. So again, for every business, I feel that cash flow is the most important, right? Cash flow is king. Because if your company has no cash flow, you can't survive, right? So of course, the next thing is the unique selling product, right? Our unique selling product is our program, our structured program that we have done very well, as well as our support. So maybe in terms of your business, you want to think about what is your unique selling point that can outshine and outstand all other competitors. Yeah. So that's one thing that I think we did well. And number two, what I think is, of course, is cash flow, right? Which is if you don't have cash flow, how are you going to market your product, right? Through digital marketing and all that. And then the third thing I feel that is very important is the system, the SOPs behind. Right? If you don't have a system, the next thing you'll think about, hey, what am I going to do tomorrow? And then how am I going to run my campaign? How am I going to reach out to more people? You know, that kind of thing. So there must be a system behind all this. So again, I want to share the first thing is unique selling point. The second one is the second one is cash flow, and the third one is your SOP, is your system, right? If you have these three, I think most likely is gonna work lah. So this is all this that I learned through my journey. You know, even in the Peranakan restaurant, same thing. First thing, what's unique selling point? We sell what? We sell penang Peranakan. In other part of the whole Singapore, there are mostly Singapore Peranakan and Malacca Peranakan. But no one sell Penang Peranakan. Very little companies sell Penang. That's was something very different from us. That's why I like this business at the start. And I love their food. Until today, I still miss their food. That my restaurant actually created. Well, talk about it. I think I'm a little hungry already. Okay. So, yeah. So the unique selling point is the Penang food. And the second one was, this is the problem, cash flow. We have cash flow problem. And the third one, SOPs. Our SOPs is so lah, not very strong in a way. But then our kitchen has its own SOPs. You know, the back end, the front end has his own SOPs lah. Like how we serve customers, how we invite customers in, how they sit down, how our production line comes in, how our food is being served, how the food is being cooked. All this we have the SOPs lah. So if these three, then the business can run well. Yeah. So that's the part that I think of. So again, for my business now, why I love this business is because we have a good unique selling point, a great unique selling point, and then we have cash flow to run for marketing. And the third one is that we have built out our support and structure system so that our students and members can get all the help they need. And that's the part where the core hub comes in. We just launched our core hub, corehub.me. And this is our support forum portal where anybody can join, anybody. And we are going to share a lot of free resources about how to invest safely in the market. And this is the part where all our members actually come in. They have a place to share, to talk, and then get resources. Yeah. So I think that is something that is that we have done well. Yeah. So I think that's about it for my story until now. So back to you.
Thank you so much. I think personally speaking, after hearing Jeremy share his experience, his life journey, it was a roller coaster ride even for myself. Yeah, even though I didn't get to experience firsthand of what he experienced. Luckily, I don't do that so that I can actually save some money, save some hardships and failures if I were to run my own F&B business. I think most of us over here today, we are very lucky. Why? Because after hearing Jeremy's F&B experience, we know that we don't have to go through what he went through the other time. And we managed to learn things that he has learned already, and we don't have to go through it from scratch. And I believe that his F&B business journey definitely helped him make Core Invest very successful today based on the things that he learned, the failures that he met. I personally took back three main things due to his experience in F&B and what he applied in Core Invest. Firstly is the cash flow. Secondly is about structure. You cannot run things based on emotions. A proper structure is very important. Okay. Back to cash flow is whereby having a strong cash flow is important. Why? Because without strong cash flow, it's very hard to do certain things. Especially when Jeremy was sharing that he tried to start his own F&B business, he met cash flow issues. it can't uh, uh, continue on. And thirdly, it's about management. Sometimes you cannot rely on resources or humans too much. You have to be self-reliant and independent. I think that's how he founded his success today. And yes, I think Jeremy covered one of the most important uh, pointers today, which is how you actually innovate for a core invest to make it more suitable for this period of time. And I believe that this COVID-19 situation will not be a temporary thing. It will form a new normal, meaning things are going to change permanently. And we might not be able to get back to things where we used to do previously. Yeah. So one thing that I'm very curious that I would like to ask Jeremy is, I think Jeremy covered a few pointers about how he started to engage his students on Zoom meetings and stuff. I remember Jeremy used to organize public events and seminars, not webinars, seminars to members of the public to share with them about core invest. So how are you doing it now to actually engage members of the public to know about core invest and to start learning from you?
Mm. All right. Okay. So what I did now is that what we are doing now is actually we are creating a lot of video contents. We are creating a lot of market awareness, like say for example, joining doing Facebook Live. We are starting to produce a lot of content here and there, content marketing, and things of value. We feel that if we were to keep what we know, then people do not see the value, right? The people only see value when you start to share. So this is where we have a marketing team that we are looking to actually share a lot of value through YouTube, email marketing, and Facebook. And this is where we'll share many information. Like say, for example, we are working very hard, almost done already with our mini course. And this is where the free mini course comes in, and then we can bring people to learn about investing and all that. So over there, so we are going to do some digital marketing. We're going to pay some marketing as well to drive people to understand about our business. And then, of course, myself will be continuously going out to talk to more people, doing Facebook Live, doing all the different videos to bring people and engage people. So that's something that we are doing now at this point of time.
Oh, I'm very excited to hear your video content. I mean, it's resources for members of the public to learn, to get educated, which is, I believe, is very different from most investment courses or coaches out there, whereby, hey, you have to pay, then I teach you. But I think what you are doing is very different. To actually give values to people first, to build the relationship with people first, before they continue to learn from you. And I think that's very wonderful. One thing that I remember when you were sharing is the whole entrepreneurship journey that brings you to who you are today started off from this very little book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a little book because it's very mini in size, but the value that it gives to entrepreneurs is much more immersed than what it seems to be. And personally speaking, I also got inspired by this Rich Dad Poor Dad to start my own entrepreneurship journey. And I believe some of you out here that has listened to Jeremy definitely might have been inspired in one way or another. Those that is aspiring to be, maybe you can probably check out this book. So I think now is the time that we can actually open to the floor to ask Jeremy the question. It's very, it's an honor that we have him here today to share with us his experience. Probably some of you might have certain questions that has been bothering you during his sharing. I think it's the time that you can ask him now. So if you would like to share, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. So anybody has any questions to ask?
Maybe for me first. So when you first start up from a paragon business, right, to this education platform business, right, I believe there is a lot of challenges that you face because there are two different domain skill set of businesses. So from a F&B to an educational business, right? So what type of challenges do you face, and like how easy is it to get traction, and how you motivate yourself to keep on getting this type of traction and build yourself bigger? How you do that? Because it's not an easy journey, what I understand.
Okay, thanks, Tony. There's two parts to this question. Number one is that we are talking about how I transit from F&B to training. And the second question is more about how I get the traction, right, after I started this training business. So the first question, how did I transit from F&B to trainers, this kind of industry, is that what I did was I just whatever that I can learn from previously in the Peranakan business, I try to apply what I've learned to this education business. It's new to me, definitely. I have no experience in training in the past, and what I did was that I keep on looking out for new ways of how to share. All right, I keep on learning. I never stop learning at all. I even went for classes to go and think about how to speak properly. We even went to a consultant to talk about how I speak and the content. And I just keep on practicing. I know that it's very different, but I don't care about whether anybody think something wrong with me, or or this guy is bullshitting, or this guy is no value, that kind of thing. I don't care. One thing I think I did well is that I have this don't care mentality. If I care too much about other people think about me, right, then I won't be in this business anymore, right? Because the thing is that why does it matter to me? It doesn't matter. They just say for the sake of saying. But for me, is that this is my business. I'm passionate in what I'm doing, and I only know that I'm passionate after I speak a few times. At first I didn't know I can speak. I didn't know I can train people until when I started to do my first class, and I started to do training, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with teaching. I fell in love with. I feel very satisfied when my community and my students tell me, "Hey Jeremy, thank you very much for sharing so much." And I was like, "Wow, this is so nice feeling." And then, although it's like 2 to 3 days of teaching, and from early 9 a.m. all the way to 5-6 p.m. But then it's all I think is a very satisfying work. I impact people's life by helping them to achieve their knowledge and skill set for investing. At the same time, I got paid. Of course, I need to be paid so I can survive. And then I get satisfied because they got the knowledge they need. And from there onwards, I also provide a lot of different kinds of support for them. And that's where the engagement comes in. And I just tell myself, okay lah, I follow my principles, I follow my value, my vision, and I become more and more passionate in it. And then now, every day I'm talking about it. So it's just like happened that way that I found I love it when I started it lah. So that's the part that my transition. And then the second part about the question that Tony asked, how I get traction and all that. I think at the start, right, there's no much traction for me because I'm a nobody, right? So what I did was that I leveraged on others. I leveraged on others who has branding and influence. They are influencers to actually talk to them, to feature me and talk to me. Like say for example, I'm very honored that Charles actually allowed me to speak on the platform also. It's like something like this. It's like, hey Charles, thank you for inviting me to speak. Then this is where I start to get people to know more about me, and I start to provide more value. And when I provide value, this is where I get people to know more about me, and that's where the traction comes, right? So the start, I think what I did well was that I start to talk to a lot of people. I go do a lot of networking and ask them to come over, and then I start practicing and all that, and I never give up, right? So I never give up on all these things. Every day I was thinking, morning, afternoon, night, I sleep, also think about my business, There's a few point of time that I didn't sleep, like maybe 2-3 a.m. Until then I sleep, right? Because I'm thinking, what can I do to improve my business and get more traction? Yeah. So you can see, maybe my eyes you can't see well now, but actually I got dark eyes because I don't really sleep much. I always think about how I can innovate my business. Yeah. So that's where the traction comes in by talking to more people, never give up, and then start to network. Yeah.
Understand. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony, for the questions. Anyone has any other questions to ask Jeremy? Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask questions if you have any questions.
I think it's good. Yeah.
If not, maybe I have one last question for Jeremy before we sum this thing. I believe that most entrepreneurs, one thing they have is this thing called positivity. Why? Because definitely as we are doing entrepreneurship, we met a lot of obstacles. We'll feel unhappiness sometimes, anger sometimes, or perhaps to some all these emotions is negativity at times. So how do you face all this negativity and ensure you remain positive to reach your end target?
Okay. So it's all about Charles. You are trying to share is about how I become positive and also how to control emotions, right?
Right.
Yeah, in the business. Okay, so what I did was that I think I mentioned earlier I got this mentality is that I don't care. No, it's called my MYOD lah, mind your own business lah, MYOB. I tend to MYOB quite a lot. I want to support my community only. I think that's the only thing that I was thinking. I want to help people who help me. And all that. So what I did was that I always try to tell myself that I can do it. So trying to be positive and all that. Although there are sometimes that things are get really very bad. Like kena sue 4 letters in 1 year. And a lot of emotions coming in here and there. So what I did was that I also spoke to my partners. I communicate a lot. I share a lot. I tell them my true feelings. I feel that being transparent to my partners is very important, right? Unless they are lousy partners, lah. They see that well, this guy only know how to complain but don't know how to do work, that kind of thing. But no lah. But is that I share because you matter to me. You are my friend. You are my business partner. I share with you because you matter to me, and I hope that you also share to me so that we can help each other. Yeah. So this is one thing I did. I share a lot to my business partner, and I also share with my wife also. Yeah. So what I did was that when in the past I was very quiet about my troubles, and then all boiled up. I become like a volcano. And what I learned is that if I voice it out, if I share it out, and they actually comfort me and tell me this is part of business, this is part of life. Life is all about up. There's many ups and downs. The only way is to stand up stronger only. Yeah. So what I did, talking to my business partners, I talked to my wife, and then I do talk to some friends here and there who are my very close friends. And then after I let it out, then I tell myself, okay, I cannot let this thing boils me down. I'm not going to make this something. Maybe the other guy is happy. The guy who makes me unhappy, they are happy. So why am I making them happy when I'm unhappy? That kind of thing. So again, I don't care. So I think I got this very good sense is that I don't care, right? Okay lah, you want to make fun of me, you go ahead lah. I don't care, right? Yeah, you say my hair sucks, I also don't care, right? I just do what I need to do, all right? And you cannot stop me, right? Because you are not me, you can't stop me. Yeah, right. As long I think I do correctly, as long I'm transparent, as long I do it right, okay, I didn't hurt people, I help people, and I believe personally in karma, right? If I help more people will help me. Yeah. So this is what I think, and that's where the positivity comes in, lah. Yeah. And over here for us also, what we did is that we try to do as much as we can to help more people. Like we do a lot of CSR also. We went to Salvation Army to share. We go to HCA now to share also. We helping, all this all positivity comes in because the more we help people, the more people help, and then help us. So we become more and more positive in our business and in terms of life, more satisfied in this way. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. So anybody has any last questions before we end today's session? Anyone? I believe everybody's questions has been answered in a way or another. So I think once again we have to thank Jeremy for coming to Entrepreneurship Impacts to learn from his experience. I definitely learned a lot today, and I think that during my future journey ahead, some of the experience that he shared, I will definitely apply in one way or another And we still have more entrepreneurs every Saturday. So do welcome to join us to learn from other different entrepreneurs. If not, I thank everybody for your time today to attend this session. Thank you so much and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.